Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We are in the final days of March, which means I was paid my last check of the month, and I am going to take you through how I spent that check and everything that goes with it. But before we start, my name is Bo. If you're new here, I'm 31 years old. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I am on a journey to reach 1 million net worth before retirement age. So if you want to watch me do that, if you want to see all my progress, see how I spend and save my money, please stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, all of that, and I will get right into the video, starting with how I finished out my bills for the month of March. So my last bills were Netflix, which was $29.77. And then my blog came in at $4.48. And then Orca came in at $5. So that is all that I spent for this month. And I've already paid April's rent. So I'm just going to put that in here right now because we like to pay it a little bit early. As soon as we see that money in our portal, we go ahead and we pay that so that we're not worried about any technical issues or any maintenance going on with our bank apps. So that is where we are with our bills. So now let's go straight into any housekeeping items. So I'm just going to be honest with you. Housekeeping's not happening. Savings, nothing new. I did not save any more money because I spent all of it. For the month of March, I actually saved $6,666 in my savings account, and then I invested the other $4,000 in my individual brokerage. So that is where we are with saving. I didn't save anything else because I ended up spending my whole paycheck. That's just me being honest. My second paycheck came in at $2,420, I think $3, and I immediately put it towards rent, and then I made sort of a splurge. And I went from having $90 left in my checking account to having $305. So I spent my whole paycheck this month immediately. This round of pay, so the past 2 weeks pay, I immediately spent that, and you'll see why when we get into the numbers. So nothing more towards savings, nothing more towards my cabin trip or my winter vacation. I did not save anything else since I saved my bonus. All right, so for the month of March, I had 3 goals. I met one of them. My spending, miscellaneous, was not below $300. It was, in fact, $1,300. Okay, so 10 grand above what I was supposed to do. I did save my whole bonus, so that's the only goal that I did make. And then 20 no spend days did not happen. I spent the majority of this month. It was a very social month, and I partook in some spending. So this didn't happen. I didn't save 500 like I said I was going to do. It just, a lot of things kind of fell to the wayside. So let's just go into the numbers so that we can see some of the specifics. Okay, so I filled all of this out so that we wouldn't have to really suffer through any math or anything like that. So I'm just going to get straight into the numbers. After everything was added up with my income, including the bonus, the check number one, the $1,000 that my husband sent, and then my bank interest, I ended up with $14,161.27. I know I didn't add check number 2 in here, but I added it here. There was no room, so that's why it doesn't look like it adds up here, but I did add it here. So just so everybody knows, that is what's going on here. For my investments, I invested $4,000. I saved $6,666.66. That's great. So here is all of my expenses. Most of them were under. So I was under in living, I was under in entertainment, I was under in self-care, and I was a little bit over in pets because my dog's vet appointment was $320. My husband did go half in that, but we were not expecting that per se. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be that much. So it kind of took me by surprise. I didn't budget for it. And so that's why we are at 226 instead of 140. And then for my miscellaneous, insane, but it was supposed to be 500 initially. And then I thought, let's change it to 1,000. Let's be kind to ourselves. So I did that and I spent $395 over. So that was busted. I busted my whole budget. And it's because as soon as I was paid, I spent it, as you will see in the next page here. Once we finish this page, then I will add everything up and I will give you the total monthly expenses versus my actual expenses. So again, here's the actual breakdown of what I was paid. So this is my first check plus bonus, $10,600. My second check, 2423.95. So that's the one that I just earned. I was sent $1,000 and then I made interest. So again, that is $14,161.27. That is my highest earning month this year so far. I don't know that I'll be making that much again, but we'll see. You never know what happens. But yeah, this was a crazy month because of the budget and the socializing. As you can see, I filled up this page with spending and then it went into the next page as well. So we left at $890.91 and we're just going to add okay, so all of my expenses added up to be $1,395.09. And how did we get from 800 to 1,300? I had a conversation with my sister. Her birthday is coming up in July, as well as my nephews and my husband. So I booked a cabin for all of us to go to the mountains for the 4th of July and to celebrate all of their birthdays together. And I paid for it all myself as a gift to all of them. This was just the down payment, the $457.31. But that cabin's actually going to cost somewhere around $2,200. Did I budget for this? No. I didn't budget for this down payment, nor did I budget for the whole cabin trip. However, I am ahead of schedule with savings. So I'm just going to roll it from my checkings account. We're just going to bankroll it and go from there, because as much as I'm doing it for them, I also need it myself. So I'm just being honest. That's why we are at $1,395.09 instead of $500. We completely busted that. But again, I added it here. So let's see what our complete totals are for the month of March. So my total for the month of March, actual expenses, was $3,459.79. I had budgeted for $3,029.99. So that means we are over budget. By how much? Let's see. So we are over budget by $429.08. Now, if you guys remember, I was supposed to never go over $400 of miscellaneous spending. And I was only able to do that in January. So with that being said, I think I need to change that goal because it's not going to happen. Out of the whole quarter, I was only able to do that one time. And I'm already showing negative patterns, even when I increased my spending. So that is where we're at. Not looking the best in terms of my spending. Not looking the best. I'm not gonna lie. Let me just show you how much of my check I spent. So when I got my check, I had $90 left to my name. So I'm just gonna add the $2,423.95. 2423.95. So I woke up and I had $2,513.95 left to my name. I paid rent immediately, so that's minus $1,300. And then I had an $879 credit card bill, which was a mixture of all of this. So you see the $890 here. $879 of that was already on my credit card. So I was waiting until I got paid to pay that. So I took out the $879 and I think it was like 0.97 cents, right? So as you can see, this is what I have in my account right now. And actually I spent more today. So I spent 22, the 9, the 14. So that's minus 22.07 minus 9.92 and then also minus 14.88. So that's $287 left. I already accounted for this. So that's why that was part of my $800 bill, as you guys have heard. So that's why I am at $200. So I started with 90 and I ended with 287 or around there. And I'm pretty sure after everything's said and done, I'm going to have like more like 210, 214, something around there left in my account because there are some bills coming out. So right now it's 287 and 11. So if we take 90 out, minus 90, I have $197.11 left of my paycheck. So I started with 2,500 and I ended up with 197. So 197 left. That's terrible, right? So I'm just gonna divide this by 2423.95. So I have 8% of my paycheck left, which means I spent 92% of it. As soon as I got it, 92% was gone. So I'm only telling you guys this, not because I'm proud of my behavior, but because I'm just holding myself accountable. So that's where we are. I do have some stuff planned with some friends. In like 2 weeks, I have a dentist appointment. I've got the light bill is due and groceries. So how am I going to do this? We'll see. But this is definitely something that I'm not used to, right? So we'll see how I navigate this. I don't know. Maybe I'll just lock myself in my house, but that's where we are. I have 8% of my paycheck left and I was paid yesterday. Moving on to the breakdown. So as you guys can see, I did it all for you. I didn't want to cause any confusion so that me and my koala pin here can just get on with the numbers and not drag it too much. So last month I carried over $213.47. And I add that to what I made this month, which makes my total income $14,374.74. My total expenses was $3,459.79. And that makes a difference of $10,914.95, of which I saved $10,666.66, which gives me a balance forward of $248.29. So this is how much that I have or I will have in my bank account on April 1st if I don't spend another penny. That's how much I'm going to have. And I'm okay with that being in my checking account because my checkings account doesn't get any interest. So this is going to be earning a mixture of, whatever the stock market gets, which is nothing right now because it's down, and 4% from my high yield savings account, which is great, better than nothing. And this will get nothing because it's in my checkings account. So just going through the numbers, my savings was insane. I saved 74.2% of my expenses of my salary for this month, which is great. But it doesn't make up for my spending. So my living expenses was 11.3%, which is good. My miscellaneous spending was 9.7%. However, again, I spent 92% of my paycheck. So that's still not good. This, overall looks great, but it's bad behavior, period. My pets ended up being 1.6%, entertainment 0.4%, and leftover is 1.7%. So I would like to get my living expenses a little bit lower. My miscellaneous does not need to be 10%. I don't know. When you're making 14 grand, it doesn't need to be 10%, right? So I spent a little more, I think, because I made a little more. So as you can see, even people who preach staying away from lifestyle creep and stuff like that, they even suffer with it sometimes. So nobody's immune to lifestyle creep and bad money habits. not even me. As you guys have seen in the last year and a half, I also have a spending issue. So, did I achieve my goals this month? I reached my savings goal only, which I'm okay with because that's the most important one. Everything else, the no spending, the saving, the extra, didn't happen. But I did what I was supposed to do. The bare minimum was to save my whole bonus, which I did. Where did I have the most trouble? I didn't give myself enough money to spend, and I ended up recalibrating my budget, which is good, but it still wasn't enough. So I think I need to be more realistic and give myself 10% maybe spending instead of trying to be so strict, because it only worked once out of the whole quarter. What did I learn this month by tracking my expenses? I learned that bonuses are powerful. I feel very lucky to have that. It's even better when it happens in the same quarter as a 3 paycheck month. That definitely helped me to reach my first goal, which was to reach $30,000 in my savings, my emergency fund. So I'm hoping that I can continue this momentum for the rest of the year. Though I did kind of falter this month, I'm hoping that because I, stuck to my base of saving more than I spend, that'll help me in the future. What can I improve of? I mean, I burned out, you guys. I burned out at work, my relationships, my social battery, everything. Just I am running on E, and so it fueled me wanting to spend and plan trips and kind of rebel a little bit, which is what I did. But also, I do like to give as a gift for the cancers in my life, the people born in July. So that is kind of a yearly thing. However, I didn't plan for it and I should have. So that is what I learned this month. That's what I could have improved. And that is all I have. So I want to know what you guys did for the month of March, how you guys are doing in terms of your spending and saving. Did you spend as much as I did? Did you spend 95% or 92% of your check? Did you save? How much did you save? How are things going? Things like that. We are officially finished with the first quarter of 2025, and it went by in a flash. So I would love to know what you think of all of this in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.